In this class, we are going to summarize what and all we have learned or studied so far in this course. First of all, I will create one application. Let me name this as summary, and the third app, let me name something like this and click on finish. Then we are going to close this welcome message. We are going to create a web app. Let me name this as web app. Click on create. Once our application gets created, we will drop couple of components from our components palette over here. Also, we have studied if we are getting a boilerplate code when we create a page, that is from the shell page, that is the root page of all the pages in Visual Builder application. So all the pages will be getting header and footer from this shell page. So whatever you put in shell page will be replicated in all the pages what you create in Visual Builder application. Now, apart from header and footer, we are seeing some other boilerplate code in this page that we can remove by going to the code and Ctrl A and delete. Let me just go to the design view. In this class, what we will do is we will create a calculator app. I will draw couple of input parameters or the components on my page, that is to accept the numbers from the user, and on click of the button, we should get the total, like we are going to make the addition. Here, I am going to drop input component. Let me just drop input number. As we are going to make a addition of two numbers, I am dropping the input number. Earlier we had seen input string or the input text where we were accepting the greeting, which is the alphabets. In order to accept the number, we are dropping the input number component over here. Next, I will drop the one more input number component onto the structure. So this time we are dropping into the structure. Earlier we dropped onto the page. Let me just click on this grid view and click on this flex so that we will get these components in a separate line. In later classes in this course, we will learn how to style those components. Right now, we will not concentrate on how to style these components. It is stretching across entire page or the screen in our application or in the web page. So for your information, in Visual Builder application, this screen is divided into 12 frames or the 12 sections if you see over here. That means this screen is divided into 12 frames, you can say. We will learn how we can make use of 12 frames and we can style those components in our coming classes. As of now, I have dropped two components over here. Then I will drop a button component. Let me just drop the button component over here. After that, what I will do is I will drop the text component to store the output. Let me just drop the text component, or in other words, I can drop the input number itself. Let us just disable the input feature of this component. That also we can study with this use case. Let me once again query for the input. It's over here. Let me drag and drop it over here. Now, in order to make any component to disable the input feature, what we have to do is select that component over here and go to their properties. We can make read only. Now, this component can no more accept the input parameter from the user. So, if you see, we don't have this feature wherein user can enter the data, something like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, something like that, okay? We have dropped the input components, we have dropped the button, we have dropped the output text component or the output section where our addition of two numbers will be shown. Now, let us just rename these sections. This I will name this as first number, and second component I will name this as second number. And this one we will name this as addition result. Done. Now, if I enter over here 333 again 333 and click on this button, we are not getting anything, because first thing we had studied in our earlier classes, when the user enters something, we need to store that value in some variable, so that we can assign it over here under the values. First of all, we can create a variable. Instead of creating separate variables to store the values, what we can do is we can define a type. That is, click on this type, select the custom. From here, we will tell object. As we are creating more than one, we will go for the type and we will define two numbers over here, and then on top of this, we can create a variable. Let me show this how to do. I will tell addition type and I will select object. Click on create. Click on this add field and make this as type number, as we are going to store number in this. I will name this as first number click on create, add new. Second one we will create now, second number. If you click on create and new, it will give you a pop-up to create one more field. So in this case, we need only 2 parameters or the fields in this type. So we are going to click on create this tab. So we have created 2 fields over here within this addition type. Now in order to create the variable, we can straight away click on this, right click over this type and click on create variable. It will create a variable which is of type addition type. So we don't want this. I will undo the change. Let me manually create, go to the variables, click on variable. Here let me just create a variable with name v addition numbers. And in the type, we don't use the primitive types over here. Rather, we have created a custom type over here to hold the 2 values in the 2 fields. That is addition type. We have to select this and click on create. Next, we will create one more variable to hold the output. That is of type number once again. Here I will tell output. Just that's it. Click on create. We have created one variable which is of type custom type, which is having 2 fields, first number, second number, and output is again a number type of variable which will hold the output. Let us go back to the page designer, select the first component. We will assign what user has entered in this component to our first variable over here, that is the first number. So v addition numbers is the variable we created which is of type object, that is a custom object. Click on save. Next, click on this select number, second number, go to fx, and here let me remove this null, expand our variable object and double click on second number. Done. And in the output, we will assign it to the output variable which we created, that is this one, v output. Done. Now let us enter the value 1 and 2. Click on button. Nothing is happening. So let us work on this change. Let us rename this button to add. Done. We had studied on click of button, we have to instruct the browser to listen to the button click event and execute the actions. So in order to do that, we have to switch over to the events, click on this event listener, click on this OJ button. So what we have done is we are instructing the browser to listen to the button click event and we are telling execute the steps what we mentioned over here. So what we will do is we will drop one assign variable. What we are assigning is we are assigning to the output variable addition of 2 numbers. Now what we will do is our 2 numbers what user has entered will be in first number and in the second number. So plus is the operator using which we can do addition. Suppose if you are using plus for strings, then it will do concatenation. If you use plus for numbers, then it will do addition. Click on save. Let us go back. Now switch over to the live mode and give the numbers 1, here 2 and click on add. We are getting the result, that is 3. Suppose I give 11 and click on add, I am getting 13. So like this, we can create our application which accepts 2 numbers from the user, and on click of the button, it will execute the actions within the action chain and display the result, something like this. At the end, we had studied how we can share our application with our colleague or the manager or the lead, that is by staging the application. Click on this stage. This is going to stage the application. And if you want the URL to share to your manager, just click on this and click on this web app. It will open in a new tab in the browser. So the URL, what you get when this link opens up in a new tab, that you can share with your colleagues. Suppose if you want to move this to the production, we had studied, we have to make it live. In order to make it live, we have to click on this publish. So this will be publishing the application. So after that, no more changes can be done on the application code. So this code will be freezed. Suppose if you want to enhance the application in future, then we have to create a new version. That is, click on this and click on new version. Provide the version number and it will create a new development application for you. So until you work, this live application will be untouched. Suppose if you want to get the live application URL, steps are same like what we do for stage. Just click on this live and click on this web app. It will open the application in a new tab in the browser. So this URL you can use in order to share to your customers.